It's time for Optimum's Red Hot Sale. Get 200 meg internet, TV with over 260 channels, and unlimited home phone, all for $69.99 a month for 1 year guaranteed. And for a limited time, HBO and Showtime are included for 1 year. Switch today. Click for details and special web-only offers.
Episode 819 of No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. You know, I haven't really mentioned in a long time what that site does. And what JobSearchCoachingHQ.com offers people, it's a counterpoint to one-on-one coaching. You see, I have curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read that's going to help you find work more quickly. Plus the ability to ask me questions through the site that I think is also quite valuable. If you want to schedule one-on-one coaching with me, you can at a discount through the service. So it's a nice product, and there's a little bit more about it at the end of the show. Now, today's podcast is about 3 questions to ask at the end of each interview that I think are really critical. It comes out of my background in recruiting, and I think you'll be able to execute on this nicely. Hope you find the show helpful. I hope you give it 5 stars on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to it, because it does help other people discover the show. And now let's get going. And I want to talk with you today about ending an interview extremely well and extremely powerfully. In this particular approach, you're going to know real clearly how the firm sees you, whether they see you as being qualified or unqualified for the role. It will leave no mystery whatsoever. And it also serves the purpose of, again, leveling the playing field between you and the hiring firm. So, invariably, there's a section of the interview where they go, so, do you have any questions for us? And I've covered that in a previous video about how best to answer that question. But now, as the interview is starting to wind down, there's a couple more questions I want to encourage you to ask. Now, this is past the point where you're talking about the job or talking about their assessment criteria once you're on board. This is really at the wind down phase. So, excuse me while I just refer to my screen. It has a couple of reference points I just want to make sure I ask. So, question number 1. Do you see any gaps in my experience or my employment that I need to fill? Now, this is going to give you an insight into how they judge you for this role, whether there's a perceived deficiency in your background and what that is. Are there any reasons you don't judge them qualified for this role? Now, this is a magic question because when they answer that, if you have some of that experience, you can go, oh, I'm sorry I didn't cover that point in one of my answers. This is what I've done related to that. Would you like to ask me more about this? Because I want to make sure you have all the information that you need. Here's the final one. Now that you've had a chance to interview me, are there any reservations that you have about putting me into this role? Again, it allows you an opportunity to address concerns that they have, so that this way you've had an opportunity to take your tennis racket and send it back over the net to them, make them ask more questions, investigate more fully, because sometimes you have to remember the interviewer is not extremely skilled. They have a finite amount of time where they're evaluating and assessing. They miss things, you know what I mean? So this gives you ways of finding out their thinking at the end of an interview, so that at the end of the day, you know exactly where you stand. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few ways to connect with me. First of all, if you're interested in one-to-one coaching from me, email me at jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. In the subject line, put the word coaching. This way I know what it's about. I can get back in touch with you. We'll figure out a time to speak for an introductory conversation so that I learn what your needs are and you can figure out if I'm the right person to help you. Generally, I work with people at a manager level and above, but I do make exceptions from time to time. If you're not at that level and want advice from me, the best way is through JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. There I have curated information that I've developed and others have as well that you can watch, listen to, or read that's going to help you find work more quickly. Again, you can ask me questions through the site. I'd be very happy to answer your questions. I look forward to helping you in either of those two ways. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn, send a connection request to me at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to the show because I love hearing from fans, from listeners who have been helped by the show. And like me on Facebook. The page is facebook.com/NoBSCoachingAdvice.com, or look for Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter there. Give me 5 stars, a great review. It helps other people discover the show. And I'll be back tomorrow with more. In the meantime, have a great day. Take care.
Once upon a time, there was a new crossover that refused to play by the rules. It flipped the script and made all the others look like fools. Featuring styling that's sexier by far and handles like a rock star. Introducing the first ever Toyota CHR.
Enjoy agile handling in the body of a seductive crossover that comes with standard 18-inch alloy wheels. The first ever Toyota CHR. The perfect ride to spin your own tail. Toyota. Let's go places.